Today we are diving into Kazrog's Avalon AD2055 and AD2077 EQ plugin, faithful emulations of some of the most iconic mixing and mastering tools out there. Today I'm going to show you how top charting mixing engineer Manny Marroquin uses the 2055 on vocals, how the 2077 sounds on a master, and how they stack up against the Universal Audio Avalon 737. Before we jump in, if you're looking for professional mixing and mastering or just starting out and want affordable presets to polish that demo, I've worked with artists like Travis Barker, A$AP Rocky, Sammy Adams, and more, and helped thousands of independent artists get their music release ready. You can check out everything I offer at mixandmastermysong.com. Let's go. Okay, so I did not want to like this plugin. I purchased it with my own money. I need another EQ plugin like I need a hole in my head, but before I actually bought it, and so I did end up buying it, I demoed it and I wanted to compare it to the 737, which is the UAD version that I use quite a bit for vocals, mostly the top end, which, you know, Avalons, if you don't know, are known for their super shiny, bright, but not brittle top end for vocals. So I got the demo. Now this is the purchased version, but I put them two together and used a curve EQ analyzer, as you can see here, to match the curves the same. And it's a real simple shelf, nothing too crazy here. The one thing that was different was, if you can see on the Avalon, the shelf needed to be at 25K with a 4 dB boost. And then on the 737, it actually had to be at 32K with whatever this is, 12, 14 dB boost on the treble. So quite different settings to get the same exact curve here. Now this could be an example of the analog days snake oil, or whatever you want to call it, where it might have been the same curve but just different numbers and different EQ points. I don't know, but this is what I had to do to get there. So I'm going to play this vocal. This is from a band I work with called Bad Moon, really great group from France. And this is the Avalon 2055, and then I'll switch over here, which will be the UAD 737 with the same settings we just heard.
It's a bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck or love. Pressure on your shoulders if you love her. I don't really need any attention, but it is early and I want you to stay here.
All right, so they do sound close, but they definitely sound different. And to me, the 2055 just has this clarity that the 737 doesn't have. And I'm not saying that I don't like what the 737 is doing, but it just seems a little more round compared to the 2055. Is just this beautiful clarity where the vocal just kind of just sits right in your face, but it's not harsh. With the 737, I don't feel like you get that as much as you do with the 2055. And that's pretty remarkable, seeing how we checked it out and saw that it was basically the same exact shelf, but there's just something happening in the box that's different, or in this case, the plugin, that really makes that 2055 stand out a bit more. So that right out the gate made me want to purchase it and start being able to use that on vocals. Now, speaking of vocals, I have from my sources at Sound on Sound magazine and some other friends that I've talked to over the years, the kind of basis of EQ settings of what Manny uses for his vocals. So it's a bit of 25K, a couple dB there, maybe a little bit of 900, and then 215 once in a while. If it needs a little more thickening, that might be used as well. So I'm going to turn this off and play this vocal for you guys, and then turn it on with these settings and see if you hear the difference of just the clarity that this brings to this vocal.
Bad day, not a bad life, like a sad movie. Choices that you make now won't ruin you. We don't even know if we want to fuck or love. Pressure on your shoulders if you love her. I don't really need any attention, but it is early and I want you to stay here.
So to me, just there's something about this EQ that really is sort of magical. It just brings this presence and expensiveness to the vocal that we couldn't get with a 737, and maybe you could with another plugin. I'm sure one of the guys who hates every plugin in the world and thinks you could do it all with a fab filter could probably figure it out. But to me, this sounds amazing on vocals. All right, so let's move on to the 2077 and try it on the master of this song. All right, so here is the 2077. It looks kind of like the 2055, but you'll notice there's quite a few more options. You have the stereo EQ, which you do on the 2055, peaks and dips, and you'll notice that the boost is not quite as much as on the 2055, and also the range is only ×2, where it's ×10, I believe, on the 2055. So those are the differences. Sound quality wise, I didn't spend time comparing it, but I did run some quick EQ settings on this master and we can hear the difference. So just so you guys can see what I'm doing, I got a little bit at 17K, a little bit of 1200, and then here we have a little boost at 50 Hertz. Sorry, the writing is small and my eyes aren't what they used to be. So let's bypass it. We'll play the master. This is from the chorus, and then I'll bring it on and off so you guys can hear the difference.
It's a birthday.
So it sounds nice. It adds a little sheen to it. Wasn't a game-changing thing. It might work better for a different song, but this is the song I had pulled up. But it definitely brings some life to it, and I think can work as a great mastering equalizer, you know, for any song you're working on. All right, so that is the quick review of the Avalon series from Kazrog. So you get both of these as a bundle. I think it was $89. I was on their mailing list, so I got 15% off, so not a bad deal. $70 for 2 plugins. The 2055 is what I'm going to be using the most. We'll see how much the 2077 gets into my mastering world, or maybe I could try it on background vocals. I still need to spend some time with that one, but I really, really do like what the 2055 did for that vocal. Let me know what you guys think about them in the comments below. And like I said from the beginning, if you need your songs mixed or mastered or are looking for presets for your demos, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. Talk to you guys soon.